So yesterday we did a live stream here on the channel where we talked about a variety of gaming news, during which we also talked about the Twitchcon Emiru situation. And we're going to be talking about it again in this video because I did a highlight from that stream, of that specific portion of the stream, because it is a topic that I believe is very important to be talked about on what is and is not acceptable behavior at a convention, because I myself happen to go to conventions from time to time, and therefore this is naturally something that is very important to me. But not just that, it should be important for everyone in this space. But basically, that video got taken down by YouTube. So before we talk about the Emiru situation again, I'd like to show you guys exactly what happened. So yesterday I did the highlight of the stream. I posted it here on the channel. Then I went to bed. And today I wake up to this email. Hi, Rakan. Looks like the Emiru situation is insane. Didn't follow community guidelines. To help keep our community safe, we removed it from YouTube. Exactly who are we keeping safe here? Because if anything, Emiru was thankful for the fact that that video was uploaded, because then she had evidence of what had happened. And this is actually what spurred Twitch into action. But anyway, they went on to talk about, we think your content didn't follow our sex and nudity policy, yada, yada, yada. I've read the whole thing. And the biggest issue that I have with this, to me, is number one, I don't think this actually violates anything of the sex and nudity policy. But, you know, feel free to disagree with me on that if you choose to do so. But basically, I pressed the review and take action button, I asked for an appeal. And not even like 5 seconds after my appeal, they're like, hey, we reviewed your appeal for the following. We reviewed your content carefully. We reviewed your content carefully in like 5 seconds. I'm sorry if I don't believe you. I don't think you reviewed my content that carefully within 5 seconds. I think you got some clanker AI to look at my content and flag it. And here's the other interesting thing. The main reason why my video got flagged is because there are these little things that you're supposed to tag whenever you do videos on YouTube. So whenever you curse or whenever you do something, certain types of content that may include violence or something like that. And there are a couple of things that you can like mark on the monetization thing. Now, my understanding is that it seems like a majority of people aren't marking these things, because I went over there and I was like, well, this does depict a little bit of sensitive content, so I marked that. And because I marked that, YouTube instantly honed in on it with its AI robots and just like, wah, wah, big alert, there's problems in this video. And they went over and they took the video down. This video has actually been removed. Not only that, I've now received a community content warning. And on top of that, they're also saying that because of the fact that I appealed, if your appeal was for a warning, you will not be given another warning in the future. So this is them like straight up threatening me. They're just like, by the way, we're not going to warn you again about this. But the interesting thing is that content is still up on my channel. The same content that is in this video is up on my live stream. Now, I'm not going to be deleting the live stream because there's like friggin' 4 hours of content in that live stream. I'm not going to be deleting that. Now, I did went with the YouTube editor and blur the specific video thing. But let me just, before we tackle the main topic, let me just tell you guys something real quick. That video is here in this video from Asmongold in its entirety. And by the way, I don't want Asmongold's video to be taken down. I don't want any problems to be going Asmongold's way. This is just like a very easy example. This video has 1.4 million views, and it shows the video in its entirety. It is not blurred out. None of that. It's fine. There's not a problem. It's just certain creators, we get, you know, singled out. That's just the way that it goes. I'm not the only one whose video got removed. I've heard from other content creators that they also had their stuff removed. But the reality is, I was actually going to show the, you know, the amount of videos that have it on YouTube on the website itself, so that you guys could see that it is not doctored, because this is a YouTube page. I did not like Photoshop this or whatever, but I was going to show it on YouTube. But the thing is, I can't even show you guys the search results for this because the offending clip is in the thumbnail. There's straight up videos that have the worst part of the clip in as their thumbnail, and that's fine. That's neither here nor there. It is what it is. This stuff happened. I just figured I'd let you guys know. So in case YouTube eventually flags my channel because of the live stream, that might mean I get a content community strike, which means I probably will not be able to live stream, post content, or do anything for like months or something like that. So, you know, we recently just had like a break that I took because I was getting a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe I'll need to take another one, except this one won't be optional. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to be talking about this. I don't give a crap. The video that you guys might have seen shows a dude coming up to Emiru out of nowhere. Dude just goes up, grabs her by the face, and tries to forcibly kiss her in the mouth, which is absolute creep behavior, absolutely disgusting, completely unacceptable in any social setting whatsoever, regardless if the streamer in question is a male, female, don't give a damn. None of that matters. That type of behavior completely inappropriate. Now, on top of it, this person was allowed to basically just walk right off. Twitch security did absolutely nothing. They did not protect their streamers at all, and it is absolutely and insanely disgusting that this situation was even allowed to happen. Emiru did her post here. She talks about the situation. I'm not going to be going over all of this. I already went over this yesterday. But basically, one of the important things that we should talk about when it comes to this is this part. Like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacts is my own security. So the person that even pushed this creep away was not Twitchcon staff who was making jokes about the situation, as Emiru talks about a little bit later in her own post. It was her own personal security, which, by the way, she had another security guard at a previous Twitchcon who was banned because he held a stalker's arm. She talks about this here as well. It's true, my favorite and usual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to the police at a past TwitchCon. This is insane. Is Twitch just out here to protect the actual predators that are preying on these people? And by the way, Twitch did absolutely nothing. And then eventually when Twitch took action, their action was to ban this creep for 30 days from their platform. A 30-day ban. A 30-day ban. Twitch has no respect for a lot of its talent. It's absolutely disgusting. Some of you guys might be wondering, Rurikhan, why do you stream on Twitch? Because I have a community there. There are people there that want to watch my videos. They prefer to watch it on Twitch over watching it on YouTube. That's why I've been experimenting more and more with multi-streaming. But it's like Twitch has been so incredibly disappointing with what they've been doing over the last couple of years, but this security situation is just absolutely asinine. But the best part of all of this, because there's always a best part, is that there was an interview that Taylor Lorenz did with Dan Clancy. This is going to be available in its entirety next Wednesday, but there's a little clip here that was posted. Hopefully this clip is safe, YouTube. Can I show this one? It's two people in an interview setting. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. Anyway.
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan, and a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, you know, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face.
The safety of our creators is our top priority, despite the fact that nobody checked in on Emiru after she was assaulted during a meet and greet, which, by the way, she was contractually obligated to do in order to be a featured content creator for the TwitchCon thing. So nobody came in to check on her after this had happened, and a few short minutes afterwards, she was back at it, you know, continuing the meet and greet because she still wanted to go ahead and, you know, meet her fans and respect the people that had been waiting in line, which I think is, you know, I think that's an admirable thing to do. But at the same time, Twitch security should have been there en masse after that thing had happened. They did nothing. They didn't check in on her, and apparently they only apprehended, and I don't even know if apprehended is the correct word, because there's footage of the dude just straight up exiting the convention and nobody stopping him, nobody chasing him, nothing, right? Because they did absolutely nothing. So he's saying that, oh, this is a top priority, our streamer security. No, it's not. You're just saying words because it sounds good to say them.
This is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends.
It's a challenge in today's society. It's not just us. It happens everywhere. That doesn't excuse it. That doesn't excuse it at all. Like, I think it's very important for us to break down these talking points because people like to say, well, everybody does. It's like, this is not an excuse. What the hell are you talking about?
Throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very...
So it's her fault. Should have banned the creep from your chat. That would have solved everything. This is clearly Emiru's fault. She had it coming. It was her fault that she didn't moderate her community. What is this? Are you insane? This is just like absolute disgusting behavior from the CEO, basically victim blaming Emiru. Like, what are we doing
different
here?
You know, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday?
They don't bother me because I can just ban them. They can't just create another account. And also, by the way, when you ban them from your live stream, you effectively banned them from real life. They no longer have the physical means to reach you. Dude was probably banned to begin with. That's probably why he did what he did.
Obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything.
We care deeply about it. Like, people were actually trying to even check to find Twitchcon security. They couldn't find anyone. And Emiru even mentioned that Twitchcon security was like laughing about the whole thing, how they didn't even see what had happened because they weren't really paying attention, because they don't give a crap, because this is what you get when you pay cheap for the people that are securing a venue. If you don't pay the appropriate amount, if you don't actually hire a team of professionals, you're not going to get good service. So that's what you get. You get people that are just like moseying around, not really doing anything at your convention.
What happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to...
I don't know if she's still a friend of yours after this, brother.
See how we can support her. This is just something we have...
And you didn't see how you could support her at all. This is just like a blatant lie, which is exposed in Emiru's tweet. She talks about it here. No one was checking if I was okay or if I needed anything. They let the guy run away. I had no idea what anyone hired to keep the event safe is doing. In the Twitch statement, they said that the guy was immediately caught and detained. I'm sorry, but that is a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked me. And I've only felt that this happened because my manager was pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff not because TwitchCon staff present thought it was a big deal. And here's the other thing. The main reason why it actually, eventually escalated isn't even just because her manager was pressing the issue. It was because there was a video that was going viral where they show the actual, aggression.
Keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about help.
Leaders in the industry? It's like I'm saying, dude, he's just saying words. He's just like, if I spit out a bunch of nonsense, people will believe me. It's like, no, brother, it doesn't work like that.
That means there's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, it is very secure. But here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there.
And your reaction to these challenges says millions, okay? Because you guys didn't react. You guys didn't check in on her. You guys didn't do anything. You didn't apprehend the person who did the assault. You did nothing. And there was video footage of the whole thing happening, and you did nothing. It's pathetic. It's disgusting.
Right? And so, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them. right? So I don't want to get into any, specific.
Yeah, you don't want to get into any specifics because you did nothing. That's why you don't want to get into any specifics. It is disgusting. This should have never been allowed to happen. And here's Emiru talking about it afterwards.
But I just feel like, in a way, it's my responsibility, you know what I mean? Because it's not just about me, like this could have happened to anyone. Honestly, for all we know, this could have already happened to someone, a small streamer, and someone just wasn't filming it. Which, okay,
Which probably has happened, probably will happen, and Twitch will do absolutely nothing about it because they're not big enough to even cause any rippling effect to, cause Twitch to force Twitch into action.
I'll start this by saying, shout out to the guy who filmed it and put it on Twitter, because last night after this happened, I was thinking like, fuck, like I have to talk about this. Like, people need to know that this happened. Like, how am I gonna do that? And then someone happened to post it on Twitter. So thank fucking God I didn't have to figure that out myself. Which, okay, like I said, this is gonna be a mess because I'm not meant to be doing these kinds of streams. I don't think that Twitch would have put out an official statement if that clip wasn't posted and going viral. And even after the fact that that clip was posted and going viral, as far as I know, the other people who had meet and greets today were not reached out to ask if they wanted extra security or if they even wanted to cancel their meet and greet. Like, maybe some people were, but I know for a fact Extra Emily wasn't. My personal manager made sure that she had extra security. No one reached out to her.
There's way more details in this video that you guys can go through and check for yourselves, but the point of the matter is this was a disgusting situation, and I don't know why YouTube singled me out to remove my video on it, but anyways, now you guys are aware what happened in regards to my channel, what happened in regards to Emiru. I hope that, I hope this whole situation gets sorted out. I hope that dude gets put on a list somewhere, like a record. Dude needs to be on some kind of a record. Not just that, but dude needs to be sued into oblivion. I believe that Emiru has mentioned something about pursuing charges, which she absolutely should. Ruin this person, because make an example out of these people. This is not acceptable behavior under any circumstance whatsoever. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, which I don't know why you would, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. And if you don't hear from me within the next couple of weeks, it means that YouTube also flagged my live stream, and that means that I've been forced to take a vacation. But other than that, keep enjoying the content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.